When Caden was small, his bed was next to his window. He was woken up a lot during the night time, considering he lived right across the street from a local school. On nights when he couldn't sleep, he would sit up in bed and watch the shadows of kids under the big orange lamp in the school's park. One night, Caden woke up to the sound of wind in a darkened room. He sat up in bed and looked for the lamp outside, but there was only darkness. Thinking the light must have burnt out, he laid back down and pulled his covers up close to his chin. The hissing of the wind scared him, and he imagined things creeping out from under his bed. He closed his eyes tight and tried to focus on getting back to sleep. He had counted 7 sheep when he heard the sound of singing from outside. He thought it must be a kid from across the way messing around in the park. It made him feel slightly better knowing someone was outside even though he could not see them. He listened hard and thought also that the voice must have been a girl's because it was high and sweet like his mother's. Some nights the light would come back and the voice would stop, but most nights it was dark. Caden grew to like the voice, though at times it seemed very odd to him, as it seemed to come from far away, and still seemed as if there were points in the song where the voice seemed closer. The song was short, and once it was done, the voice would sing it again and again until Caden fell back to sleep. He eventually wrote down what he thought the lyrics were in his notepad. Naively, he looked past the words and let the sweet voice lull him to sleep every night. He had never much liked Peter Pan anyway. Peter Pan was a nasty old man who hated children's play, so he stole them away where they cried every day, a place called Neverland, Neverland. One day, Caden's mother found the lyrics and asked him what they were. He told her about the lamp and the kids outside and the voice. His mother was very upset and made it clear that he was to tell her if he heard the voice ever again. Not long after, Caden's family moved away from the house. The voice followed him through the years, from one home to another. Caden never told his mother about the voice again, though. As the years went on, he wanted to very badly. As Caden got older, the voice grew closer, as though whoever was singing it had their face pressed against the window. The voice was no longer sweet. As Caden's birthday drew nearer, it popped and creaked like dry wood in a fire, singing the same lyrics as it always did. Only as he grew older, did Caden's childish ignorance fade, and the words began to scare him. One night, as the singing began, Caden gathered his courage, climbed out of bed, and walked towards his bedroom window. He was close enough to reach out and touch the window pane when the song stopped. Caden took a deep breath and swallowed. In the faint glow of the moon, he could make out the outline of a thing with what he thought must have been 5 legs outstretched along his window. You must stop now. You must go away. I don't like you. Please go away. Caden stammered through his shivering. The air was colder than it was when he had climbed into his bed that night, and he clenched his nightshirt tightly with shaking hands. What Caden had thought was one of the thing's legs twitched and slumped to the side. A jagged crown of fangs emerged from it, and it spoke in a soft wheeze. Just one more lost boy. The thing's teeth shimmered in the faint light as it spoke. Sharper than any animal tooth Caden had ever seen. He felt bile rise in his chest. He balled his fist against his sides and he told the thing, "Go away! I don't like you, leave me be!" The thing closed its mouth and made a purring sound, then tilted its head back upright with several crackling sounds. It crawled like a spider and pulled itself up above its window and was gone. Caden gulped back tears and drug his numb body back to bed. He fought sleep diligently for a fortnight after the incident, but the thing did not come back. The nights were silent. Soon the morning of his birthday had arrived. After a night of light sleep, Caden flung himself out of bed. As always, he spotted his mother and father sitting at the kitchen table. A large white cake sat on a platter before them. He could smell the sugar from the top of the stairs. He could hear his mother and father singing happy birthday to him eagerly. As he reached the last step, he realized his parents' lips weren't mouthing the words. They weren't moving at all. Their faces were pale, and their mouths were frozen in unmoving blue-lipped smiles. As the singing grew closer, Caden's body went cold. He looked up and found the black-skinned thing hunched over in the ceiling corner, singing. He took a breath, and the thing stopped. It opened its mouth and uttered, "One more lost boy." When Heather was small, her bed was next to her window. One night, a boy came and sang to her.